Now that we've talked a little bit about brain spotting, let's move into EMDR and ART. EMDR is probably the gold standard for trauma processing and healing. Discovered and developed by Francine Shapiro, there are multiple ways to apply EMDR. It's likely the most researched and proven method. Since it's so widely accepted internationally as the first choice for healing trauma, there's tons of information available out on the internet. There are some articles by Francine and some notes from her book available on the website for additional learning. I highly recommend searching YouTube for EMDR and Francine Shapiro to get as much background on this approach as you will need to feel comfortable. One good link for straight information is on the website. Another idea would be to purchase Francine's book, Getting Past Your Past. This is her first attempt at making EMDR more available to survivors. Prior to this, she has insisted the information only be made available to therapists with a master's degree and licensed as a therapist or working towards licensure. Unfortunately, at times, EMDR is simply too powerful to begin processing trauma. It has the potential to flood survivors with too much information too quickly, and the processing can be almost impossible in those situations. Using brain spotting to reduce the intensity of information and overwhelming sensations is really super helpful here. The initial steps for EMDR are kind of similar to brain spotting. In most cases, I transition to EMDR directly from brain spotting. EMDR also helps to connect trauma information that's trapped and isolated from information we've learned in the past. This is the basic principle called adaptive information processing. Adaptive information processing really is the foundation for EMDR. I'd encourage you to click on the links on our website and review the EMDR article by Shapiro and Solomon, and to click on the practical explanation of AIP to become more familiar and comfortable with this critical idea. EMDR challenges the negative beliefs that become stuck. The additional processing with EMDR seems to be more effective in dealing with the thoughts and beliefs connected to the trauma than just brain spotting by itself. Most of the time, these beliefs fall under 4 categories. The first is I'm damaged or defective in some way as a result of what I've been through. Another is I'm still in danger or vulnerable. Another one is I'm responsible or I'm guilty for what I did or I didn't do. And the last one is I'm weak and I'm powerless, and therefore I can't stand up for myself. These beliefs can have a huge impact on us and the way we see ourselves in the world. Most of the time, these beliefs aren't recognized. We don't even know that they're influencing our perceptions of the current situations. Without awareness, these beliefs can lead us into acting or failing to act in our best interests. Addressing these negative beliefs offers the chance to consider how we would rather see ourselves. With EMDR, these preferred beliefs can emerge as the impact of trauma is resolved and connected thoughts are processed. Brain spotting allows the body to extinguish the felt somatic sense of the trauma and the incompleted actions that were associated with it. Then, combining these gains with EMDR allows us to address the negative thoughts and beliefs that have shaped our lives as a result. And we can begin to see ourselves in healthier and more positive ways. I try to complete processing with some ideas from accelerated resolution therapy, or ART. ART has some strong similarities with both brain spotting and EMDR. However, the developer of ART approaches healing trauma a little differently. One of the areas that I think ART addresses better than the other 2 approaches is how to intentionally leave trauma experiences in the past. This process also allows us to reinforce our beliefs about how we want to see ourselves after healing trauma. Once trauma has been processed through brain spotting and then EMDR, ART encourages going over the entire event again, looking for any parts of it that may still be a little bit disturbing. Rather than focusing on processing these parts, they're simply just noticed and then placed into a box or into a pile. Once all of the disturbing pieces are in the pile, we can get rid of the pile or release it to God in any way we want to. Maybe one of the most important elements of this part of the process is seeing yourself walking away from the pile as you release it. This gives a strong image and sense of leaving it in the past. This is a powerful act of putting the past behind us and moving away from it on our own terms. As I stated before, health is not just the absence of symptoms or leaving our past behind us. It's also the presence of healthy elements to replace and overcome these negative ones. With that in mind, the next part of ART process has you see yourself walking towards a bridge as you walk away from the pile. As you reach this bridge, notice yourself walking across the bridge, and on the other side of the bridge is a fountain filled with peace, and Jesus standing in or next to the fountain. You're invited to step into the pool and notice the sense of peace and other positive beliefs you would like to have for yourself. You can see yourself being immersed in the water and interacting with Jesus in ways that strengthen these feelings even more. At this point, processing can come to a natural end. That doesn't always mean that every aspect of that trauma has reached resolution, although sometimes that is the case. It means that the target for that session has been processed to the point of no current negative emotional or physical content. There may still be other aspects of that memory that we'll need to address in future sessions. This can be reviewed in our next session to see if more processing makes sense. As we combine Brainspotting with EMDR and ART, we have a complete, comprehensive, holistic way of stepping into and healing our trauma. This process has the opportunity to unlock years of held negative beliefs and feelings in a very short period of time. It's very critical that we have all of the foundational skills set up in advance of this processing so that we can deal with anything that surfaces that might be a really strong reaction. As we move forward in therapy, think carefully about how you want to continue to use these skills, not only to process trauma, also as a way to increase the quality of your life in the situations that you find yourself in on a day-to-day basis.